Well, let's begin here. The Western Cape High Court sitting in Saldanha Bay this morning sentenced Kelly Smith and her co-accused Jacquen, Appollis and Steveno van Rhyn to life imprisonment for human trafficking and 10 years for kidnapping. The trio had earlier been convicted of human trafficking and kidnapping for the disappearance of 6-year-old Joshlin Smith. Before handing down the ruling, Judge Nathan Erasmus said there were no mitigating factors in the matter. In his ruling, Erasmus added that the names of the trio would be added to the Child Protection Register. Joshlin Smith's whereabouts remain unknown. Well, the life sentences imposed on Kelly Smith, Jacquen, Appollis and Steveno van Rhyn are not a measure of closure for the women who wanted to adopt Joshlin Smith. Our reporter spoke to Natasha Andrews shortly after a court adjournment. Here's Vanessa Puna.
The woman who was like a mother to 6-year-old Joshlin Smith and whose victim impact statement yesterday left many in tears here in the White City Multipurpose Hall, Natasha Andrews has said a short while ago that the sentence of life imposed on Kelly Smith, Jacquen, Appollis, as well as Steveno van Rhyn does in a certain measure bring some closure to the family. But of course that they will always have questions around where Joshlin is. Natasha Andrews, we not a dry eye in the court yesterday when you explained in the victim impact statement what exactly the disappearance of Joshlin has meant to you and your family. And today we see that the judge has imposed the harshest penalty on the three of them. Does this bring closure to you and your family and the community? And what are you feeling today?
Closure? No. Our hearts are broken. We haven't found our green-eyed girl, and closure will only be when we found her.
You mentioned just now that you will forever want to ask Kelly Smith what had happened to Joshlin. She will be in prison for life, of course, depending on the processes around parole, etc., etc. But are you preparing to go to her again and to ask her why she didn't say anything and why, on whether she knows where Joshlin is?
Yes, that is a question I will always ask. I will always ask that question until I found out what happened to Joshlin or where she is. So wherever Kelly will be, I will go to her. I will ask that question until I get my answer.
You said to me just now also very briefly, Natasha, that you have nowhere to go to mourn Joshlin. Explain to me what you mean.
In meaning, when someone's child is dead, and there is a graveyard you can go to, then you can go and talk to them. But where do we go? There's too many questions without answers.
Thank you very much for speaking to us, Natasha Andrews. Of course, the woman who wanted to adopt Joshlin Smith, the woman who treated Joshlin like her own child, reacting to the sentencing today here in the Western Cape High Court sitting in Saldanha Bay, saying that she will forever be asking the questions of not just Kelly Smith, but also where is the 6-year-old girl? She's described her as our little green-eyed girl. Just the sentiment here, I think, from the community at large in Saldanha Bay following this judgment in this case.